Greetings, everyone, and welcome to this broadcast of Slipstream Racing, the Gold Tier. This is round number 8, and this is the finale for this Season 7. My name is Kema, and I'd like to thank you for tuning into this broadcast. If you would like, you can subscribe to this channel. I guess it's not really necessary now. It's the end of the season, so subscribing and liking you don't necessarily have to worry about. However, we are now getting ourselves prepared to witness the finale for this Season 7 that will be taking place around the Silverstone circuit, and it is actually a short qualifying session and a full race. So it's going to be on 100% race for this season finale. I do not remember how many laps it is. I'm not sure if it's 56 or 58, something like that. So it's going to be quite a lengthy session. However, it should still be entertaining nonetheless. And then also, what is quite significant about this finale is that there is still a constructors battle going on. So as it is right now for the drivers standings, Trent H has actually claimed the drivers championship for this season as he is at 150 points, and then it is SSR William of the Alfa Romeo team in second place with 110 points, and then his teammate actually Miasler K in third with 100 points, which are both Alphas driving today? Yes, they are. Stake F1. Yes. Okay, so yeah, both of them are driving today. So I guess technically there is still a battle for second place in the drivers' championship between both Alfa Romeo teammates. And then you also have the case where there is still a battle for first place as far as the constructor standings are concerned. So as it is right now, the Williams team of Trent and Colin Edwards, yes, Trent and Colin Edwards, they have 213 points, and then the Alfa Romeo team has 210 points. So there is still, this finale is very much relevant for the constructors' standings. And as it is, did I see that Colin Edwards is driving? Yes, he is. So both full-time drivers are here for the Williams team as well as the Alfa Romeo team, as we're now counting down to get this short qualifying session started. So this is going to be very interesting to see what is going to take place for this finale. And then I do believe there are 2 new drivers. Yes. So there are 2 new drivers. As I'm going to have to try and get Twisted back into the lobby. And then I also need to check my audio to make sure that's working as well. So, yeah, so there are 2 new drivers that are joining for their first race in this league on this finale, which would be, as you see there, Roni121 and JC Auto Labs PR. So welcome to them, and hopefully they have a good first race in the Slipstream Racing League. So as it is right now, it looks very overcast, which might be quite interesting, as the Yuppie has actually retired. And let me see, so I'm just gonna have to try and get these people back in. So I'll be back in 1 second. All right, so the audio is good, and I did send an invite to the Yuppie. However, it's unfortunate that it has actually made him retire from the session, so he's going to be starting from the back in P18 for this race, albeit it is going to be quite a long race, as I believe I saw SSR William in the live stream chat say that it's 52 laps, so it's going to have quite the amount of laps to try and get himself up the field. So we're currently on board with Cash Gaming, as looks like I'm going to have to try and work something out, so I'll be back in 1 second. Alright, so I'm back. So as it is right now, Cash Gaming has invalidated on his first run. I do believe Trent is on a flying lap right now, so we'll ride on board with the Williams driver, see how he fares as he is currently in the midst of Sector 2. So it's quite interesting actually when you think about it, because when it is 50% races, it does seem as if the qualifying sessions are or hold a bit more weight in comparison to a 52 lap or a 100% race, which is Silverstone circuit, it being 52 laps. However, it is going to hold weight as far as this qualifying session, but maybe not as much as Trent sets a 126.393 to go into provisional pole position. Behind him is Big Bruiser, but I think he may have invalidated. And then Yasler K setting a 125.830 to put himself onto provisional pole. We have Tarzan coming to the line. He has invalidated. Now coming to the line is Sir Jake, sets a 126.583, puts himself into third. And then behind him is William, slots himself into second with a 126.325. So far so good for the Alfa Romeo team, being in first and second place respectively. Now riding on board with the reserve driver of Race Chase and sets a 126.158, slots himself into second place, splitting the Alfa Romeo drivers. As I just saw, Tarzan was disqualified from the session. So that's going to be unfortunate for the AlphaTauri. Yes, AlphaTauri driver. Has now riding on board with Jade. Let us see what he is able to set. It's a 127.169, slots himself into sixth. And then there's Cash Gaming, who sets a 128.754, slots himself into 10th. So a lot of drivers are going into the pits right now. Let's see if anyone is on a flying lap. I don't believe so. Ooh, Tony Lenta might actually be, yes, I believe he is on the flying lap. So we'll ride on board with the AlphaTauri driver, as this is, I believe, his second race in this league, as he was present for the race that took place last week at Hungary. So let us see how the AlphaTauri driver Tony Lenta is going through the final few turns of this circuit. Ooh, a slight slide there, but able to catch it well. Let us see, getting onto the power, and it is a 126.814, slots himself into 6th place. As race chase that just went across the start finish, Jade is cutting grass. There's a Ferrari that is going fast. We're not going fast on an outlap. Now we have Kaj. Hartley is on an outlap. Korea has invalidated, but I'm not sure. Could potentially be on an in-lap. So it looks like the next person that's going to be setting a flying lap is going to be Twisted Jack. So we'll ride on board with the Ferrari driver and see how he is able to fare, as he is in the midst of Sector 1. So DRS wide open for the Ferrari driver, coming to the end of Sector 1, setting a 27.584. It did come up purple on the track map. Ooh, as having a bit of a moment there, getting onto the power, but able to catch the car and keep this qualifying lap going. Ooh, as that is a mistake for Twisted Jack, and that is going to be that qualifying lap over. I was just riding on board with Colin Edwards there. He has not set a time as yet. Now riding on board with Korea of the McLaren team. And then behind him is actually his teammate, who should be, I believe, on the flying lap as well. So coming to the end of Sector 2 is Korea DRS wide open, as he is going slightly slower than that 127.395 you see on the left side of the screen, and he's actually going into the pit. So that is that lap over for Korea. Hartley has invalidated. It does look like Roney is on the flying lap, so we'll ride on board with the Mercedes driver. So quite a bit of sliding going through that right-hander, but able to keep control of the car, keeping it pointed in the correct direction. We'll see what it is that Roney is able to set. It is a 126.783, slots himself into 6th place. So Despy's just starting a lap. So is Sir Jake. So is JC Auto Labs. And then there's a Haas coming to the line. PPR Mike, who I believe is just starting a lap. So is Jade. Colin Edwards is currently on the lap, so we'll ride on board with the Williams driver and see how he will fare. So as it is right now, as we have 7 minutes and 17 seconds left in this qualifying session, it is the Alfa Romeo team, as it does say that Colin Edwards set a purple Sector 2 on the track map, but it is the Alfa Romeo team who is so far so good throughout this session. So we will see, as this is going to be quite a good time by Colin Edwards. It is provisional pole, a 125.773. by Colin Edwards. So now, is that advantage? No, that's, I guess, even. 1-5 and 2-4 equals 3. So it is even between it is even between both the Alfa Romeo team and Williams team. Now riding on board with Despy, he sets a 126.373, slots himself into fifth. Well done by the Aston Martin driver. There is a Ferrari coming to the line. It is JC Auto Labs. A 126.575 slots himself into eighth. Tony Lunta going slightly slow, and then there's an Alfa Romeo that is going quite fast on an outlap. That is William. Now riding on board with Jade. I do believe this is a qualifying lap, so we will stay on board with Jade. Currently going 4/10 faster than his fastest lap. That would put him around 9th place as it is right now. So we will see if Jade is able to improve going through these final few turns. Power down. What is Jade able to do? It's going to be an improvement. Yep, jumps to 9th with a 126.615. So Cash Gaming, who's currently in 14th place on an outlap, about to start a lap. Sir Jake is not on a fast lap. JC Auto Labs is not using his ERS, so he is not on a fast lap, and that would be William in the Alfa Romeo, who is currently going just over a 10th faster. So let us ride on board with the Alfa Romeo driver, see how he fares. DRS wide open. So nearly a 10th and 3/4 faster. That would put him around P3. So let us see what William is able to do going through these final few turns. Power down, keeping close to the right there, and to 4th with a 126.163. So now it is back to advantage Alfa Romeo, as I guess it was technically advantage Alfa Romeo with Trent currently down in 7th. So we'll ride on board with Cash Gaming of the Alpine team. Gonna have a few more turns to navigate before finishing this lap. And from what it looks like, it does look like it's gonna be a slight improvement. It is. So I don't think, did not jump any places, but improved upon that lap time setting of 128.360. We have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this qualifying session. Race Chase is on an outlap. Will William have time to set another lap? It's going to be quite close, actually. So now riding on board with Korea of the McLaren team. DRS wide open and nearly 5/10 faster than his fastest time on very old tires as well. So, but maybe those old tires not faring too well for the end of this lap. I'm not sure if this will be an improvement. We will see as Korea comes to the start-finish line. It will be. And jumps to 10th with a 126.748. So even with that slight mistake, still a improvement by Korea. So let us see if anyone is on a lap. Okay, so Race Chase is currently on the lap. So he is currently in 3rd place right now, and I do believe it said that he was improving so far throughout this lap. So let us see as he gets to the end of this sector how much faster he is going. So let us see. So just over a tenth of an improvement right now would still keep him in third place. We'll have to find just over what he has cut so far in this lap in comparison to his fastest lap to try and get that second place. Let's see what Race Chase is able to do. And just stays behind Meowsler K. So it's a 125.875, putting himself 45 thousandths slower than Meowsler K, and he is not going to be able to set another lap time, unfortunately. So it's going to be no higher than third for Race Chase. Now riding on board with Ronnie, and jumps to fourth with a 126.107. So that is a lap by the Mercedes driver of Ronnie. We have Trent, who is on an out lap, just about to start a lap. Needs to clutch up. He's currently in 8th place. So is there anyone currently on a lap? Yes, there is not. Mulenta is not. But Hartlieb is. So we'll ride on board with the McLaren driver, see how he is able to fare. Has not set a lap time as yet. Ooh, going over that sausage curb. So that's going to hinder his time a bit, but places himself into 14th with a 127.839. Qualifying is over. So did that Ferrari make it to the line in time? No. I'm not sure if there was an improvement. We're now riding on board with William, and I believe stays in 5th. So let us see. Ronnie is currently going into the pits. We have Twisted Jack currently on a flying lap. Has not set a lap as yet. Running slightly wide through that turn, however. This will still count as a valid lap for Twisted Jack. So we'll see what he sets. It's a 128.538. Trent goes to pole position provisionally with a 125.636. The clutch up effort has happened. We are now on board with Jade. He is going slightly faster, may be able to jump to 9th place. Does with a 126.494. Colin Edwards with a 125.395. Who is coming to the line now? It's Alfa Romeo. Meowsler K stays in 3rd. And there's another driver coming to the line. It is Tony Lenta setting a 125.764. Placing him in 3rd place. But there you have it. Colin Edwards taking pole position, setting a 125.395, and then his teammate in 2nd with a 125.636. The Alphas in 4th and 7th place, respectively. They are going to have some work to do. It is quite a long race ahead of all of these drivers. But there is some work to do by the Alfa Romeo team. They are currently 3 points behind the Williams team as far as the constructor standings are concerned. So let us see what is going to take place in this 52-lap race. So I will go through the starting order for this finale here around Silverstone. It is Colin Edwards starting on pole position. Trent H, his teammates, starting in 2nd. Tony Lenta in 3rd. Meowsler K in 4th. Race Chase in 5th. Ronnie in 6th. SSR Williams 7th. Sir Jake 8th. Despy 9th. Jade 10th. JC Autolabs 11th. Korea in 12th. PPR Mike 13th, Hartlieb 14th, Cash 15th, Twisted Jack 16th, The Yuppie 17th, Big Bruiser 18th, and Tarzan, who unfortunately got disqualified in 19th place. So we are going to have a little bit of a break before the race commences, as we do wait for the lobby host to be the one to ready up. So make sure, just get your setups and all of that and fuel strategies ready to go, as dang, it is very clear skies in comparison to the qualifying session. So as it looks like from the skies, it doesn't look like there's going to be any type of precipitation taking place. However, who knows what may happen. So as there should be a waiting period, I will wait until the red lights begin to light up, and then I will be back for the broadcast of this race. So it's 3, 4, and 5 red lights. And we are underway for this 52 lap race. As I will get the settings going. Let us see who has gotten themselves a good start. The Williams team, as we do have a spinner. Looks like it is Twisted Jack, who has had a bit of an off, and that's going to put him to the back of the field. Tony Lenta is actually taking the fight to Trent, as it is right now as they touch. And Trent is run slightly wide there, as we do have yellow flags. Looks like Big Bruiser has made a mistake. So quite an aggressive, well, somewhat aggressive start to this race. As we will see, we do have yellow flags currently. But yep, looks like Big Bruiser is getting back up to speed. So the Alpha team currently in 4th and 7th. I'm now riding on board with SSR William. He is behind Despy. We'll actually look and see the tire strategy. So, interesting. So hards for Trent, Meowslurk, and William, and then you have Colin Edwards starting on the mediums. So, let us see, is SSR William going to go for this move on Despy? Might have to be careful. Goes over the sausage curb, and that is not going to help him. Roni right behind, but is not able to take advantage at the moment. So even with the 2 spinners, still a relatively clean start to this race, as we are riding on board with Korea, going for a slight send around the outside now to the inside on JC Auto Labs, and that is going to be Korea up into 10th place. So this is quite interesting. SSR William is actually quite a bit behind Race Chase, so he needs to make sure that he catches up to Race Chase in order to stay within 1 second to be able to get DRS on the next lap. So we will see how that manages to play out. So now riding on board with Jade, getting himself a good run on JC Auto Labs, putting himself into 11th place. As it is right now, Colin Edwards setting a 130. Now it's Tony Lenta who sets a 134.36 to set the fastest lap of the race. And let us see. It doesn't look like SSR William may be struggling, as we do have an overtake that took place. That is Tarzan making his way past Cash to go up into 14th place. So SSR William, this is not looking good for him and the Alfa Romeo team at the moment. Not getting DRS off of the back of Race Chase, so this is going to hamper his progress. Although he is on the hard tires, so that will help him later on in this stint and race. Now we'll ride on board with Trent as he is closing in on the back of Tony Lenta. DRS wide open for the Williams driver. He's making his way alongside and past to go up into second to now be slotted behind his teammate. And we have, Tony Lenta with a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. That is very early in the race to have gotten that. Trent setting the fastest lap of the race with a 129.768. I'm riding on board with Despy. He is side by side and now touching William as Despy does yield, and that is SSR William into 6th for now, as Roney going up the inside of Despy, making slight contact, albeit all drivers are able to stay pointed in the correct direction. Now riding on board with Korea, he is quite close to the back of Sir Jake. However, it looks like Sir Jake may be running a slightly lower downforce setup. Slightly pulling away through that first DRS zone. So we are currently on lap 4 of 52. Hartley getting himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings as well. This is very early to be picking up these penalties with, 48 and a half laps remaining. So looks like there has been a swap. So as it is right now, the Williams drivers can work together, swapping with each other, and that is going to help the both of them out to be able to secure this constructors championship. So I'm now riding on board with the Yuppie, as he is currently behind JC. I'll call JC Auto Labs JC from now on. He's currently behind JC, DRS wide open for the Yuppie. However, JC was also able to get, as we have yellow flags, it looks like Twisted Jack has made a slight error. So now riding on board with Roni. He is just over 2 tenths behind the Aston Martin of Despy. So we'll see what he does going through Maggots, Beckett's, and then finally Chapel. So DRS wide open for the Mercedes driver, and looks like Race Chase had made his way past Miasler K to go up into 4th place. Despy is quite close to the back of William, however, not able to make a move. I'm not really good with the turns when it comes to F1 circuits. I do believe it's Chapel after Maggots and Beckett's. I think. If I did get that wrong, my apologies. But I do believe that it is Chapel. I don't know why I'm thinking of the name Stowe. I think Stowe is on this circuit as well. But I don't know turn names too well, so... as it is right now, riding on board with Meow Slayer K, he is currently right behind Race Chase. Not able to make a move. However, going into this DRS straight, he should be able to make a move. Now riding on board with Roni. Ooh, Miasler K has dropped back slightly, but it's going to be DRS for the Alfa Romeo driver, making his way alongside and past Race Chase to go up into 4th, and then Colin Edwards and Trent did switch places as well, as JC and Jade were side by side momentarily. Is Jade currently in 11th with JC in 12th. So we are currently on lap 7 of 52. Both Williams drivers of Colin Edwards and Trent H doing a good job out in 1st and 2nd place. And then you have Tony Lenta just behind in 3rd. However, he does have a 3-second time penalty to his name. And there you have Miasler K is actually in 4th place, so not too far behind the top 3, so we'll see what Miasler K is able to do. So now riding on board with Roni. As we'll see, Despy, although Despy is on the softs, and those softs will be starting to drop off. So let us see. DRS wide open for both Despy and Roni. Ooh, as Despy did not go to make the move on William. However, looks like JC has made his way past Jade to go up into 11th place. So Roni staying slotted behind Despy as Big Bruiser gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. So let us now see. So DRS wide open for the Aston Martin driver, but he's not able to make his way up to the back of William. William is still quite a distance behind and going wide through this turn. So Roni is currently right on the back of Despy. Well, we'll see what takes place with those softs potentially going off already for Despy ahead of Roni. I am assuming, yep, and you can see just going through these turns that it is not the same level of grip. DRS wide open for Despy and Roni. We will see, but it looks like Despy may have a slightly lower downforce or a slightly lower downforce setup, but Roni able to make his way past Despy to go up into 7th. So we will see what the Mercedes driver is able to do following that move. So I'm now riding on board with Sir Jake. Currently slotted behind Despy. So let us see. It does look like Meowsler K. Maybe not so much. Maybe taking about a 10th. Out of the interval between himself, as it does look like there is a battle between Tony Lenta and Trent H. This is quite interesting. Tony Lenta is so far doing well in this race. Sir Jake has made his way past Despy to go up into 8th place. All right, we have yellow flags in Sector 3. Who was that? Oh, it's PPR Mike. So PPR Mike is heading into the pits. I'm not sure if there is any damage on the Haas car. It looks like there is a battle going on between the Yuppie and Jade. I am interested to see if there is damage on PPR Mike's car, so we'll see. As PPR Mike has actually retired, so that is race over for the Haas driver. So we're currently on lap 10 of 52. So nearing a fifth of the way through the race. Yeah, just about near a fifth of the way through the race. So I'm now riding on board with the Yuppie, who is reserving for the Mercedes team for this race. As what has happened? I do see yellow flags. Hartley got himself a 3-second time penalty. I did see some movement with Roni's name. I'm not sure if he was potentially in a battle with SSR William, but as it is right now, SSR William is, I want to say for lack of a better word, struggling, because knowing the pace that he has, as well as the fact that he is second in the Drivers' Championship, so he is a quick and consistent driver, just very far back at the moment, being in 6th place, nearly 5.5 seconds off of Race Chase. And Roni is, for lack of a better word, pressuring at the moment. So I'm expecting that a move is going to be made in the next DRS straight. Or, no, I do not believe. I understand this is a Mercedes, but I don't expect a move to be made. A la Lewis Hamilton. So let us see. It's DRS wide open for Roni. Let us see if he has the top end speed. Yellow flags in Sector 3. As there is a Red Bull that has had something happen with it. So Roni still slotted behind the Alfa Romeo driver. Let us see. So we have another DRS straight coming up here. Let us see. As it does look like William does have himself a good lead as we have yellow flags. Looks like that may be Hartley, who has had a bit of a moment. Okay, so Hartley has gotten himself going again. Oh wow, so Tony Lenta is now 2.7 seconds off of the back of Trent. So this will invite Miasler K to potentially be able to take that third place position. But we'll ride on board with Roni. Is he going to be able to make a move? Yes, this time he will be able to, alongside and now past William, to go up into 6th place. And now riding on board with Jade, he has made his way as the Yuppie as well. So both Jade and the Yuppie. Now the Yuppie is going for a move around the outside of Jade, and he has made it happen. But it's still a fight as Jade's going to have to run slightly wide and still side by side. So this is a battle going on right now between the 10th, 11th, and 12th place drivers. Despy is into the pits to get rid of his soft tires. Ooh, as looks like Jade went slightly wide going through that turn. So it's going to be DRS as Big Bruiser has retired, and that's a safety car. So we have a safety car. So this is going to be advantageous for, I guess, any of the drivers behind both Williams drivers. That including the Alfa Romeo driver. So this is going to allow them to close up and potentially try and battle back to try and take this Constructors' Championship away from the currently leading, both in the Constructors' Championship and in this race, the Williams team of Trent H. and Colin Edwards. So let's see actually who is going into the pits. So both Williams drivers into the pits. So is Tony Lenta, Miasler K. Roni is continuing. Roni is continuing. William is into the pits. Sir Jake into the pits. If you ask me, as Roni has left the session, I'll try and... Okay, I unfortunately cannot add Roni. I'm gonna have to try and see. Luckily, it is safety. Maybe that's why he wasn't able to go into the pits. And I'm not sure. Let's see. I am not sure. Sorry, so because we are under safety car conditions, I will just take a break and I'm going to try and get Roni back into the session. Okay, so I am not sure if Roni did make his way back in. I do believe, based off of the way I saw the driving under SC, that did not look like computer, so... Although it might be. I'm not too sure, but I'm hopeful. Yeah, no, that should be him in. So, safety car is coming in now. And we'll see when Trent will get underway. So he has gone. Tony Lenta, what has happened to... Oh, wow. So I'm guessing the double stack for the Williams drivers has maybe cost Colin Edwards. Sorry, I was trying to get Roni back into the session. So, yeah, looks like it has cost Colin Edwards slightly. So let us see, as Roni has made his way past Tarzan to go up into 13th. I'm not sure what's happening with Tarzan, as Cash has made his way past Tarzan to go up into 14th. Tarzan has fallen to 15th place. So it did look like Tony Lenta was getting quite close to the back of Trent, as Twisted Jack has actually made his way past Tarzan as well. Let's see. Hartlieb is just... Ooh, but going onto the sausage curb was Hartlieb. That is still able to keep quite good control of the car. Colin Edwards has made... Nope, stayed in 3rd place. There may have been a slight battle between Colin Edwards and Miasler K momentarily, as SSR William was going alongside Race Chase, now going for the switchback, but will not be able to make it happen. And now, this is the problem, as it did look like Race Chase gave a slight wiggle there to William. William has to be careful, because he has to make sure that he stays connected to this train and can't go for any moves that will disrupt this train being connected. As you can see, Race Chase is nearly almost a second off of the back of Meowsler K, so we'll see what Race Chase is able to do. Now riding on board with Jade, he has his teammate ahead of him, but they will stay slotted in 9th and 10th respectively. Currently riding on board with Roni. I do believe that is Roni back in the car. Kaz gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. Let us see if Tony Lenta is going to make a move for the lead of this race. He is alongside Trent, not able to make a move. Now let us see. Oh, this is what I was thinking. I was thinking that something was going to happen, where some type of team game going into the braking zone, as DRS is now enabled, as some type of team game was going to happen. However, oh my gosh, what a run by Colin Edwards, but Tony Lenta closes the door on Colin Edwards being able to make a move. Now, let us see. Tony Lenta is fighting very hard for this position. Colin Edwards, as that is Tony Lenta around. Colin Edwards gets himself a 3-second time penalty, although I do believe he was run wide. So he will be able, as long as he does take a screenshot of his race director, he will be able to get that removed, as long as he does not get any more track limit penalties. So we have, looks like Despy making his way. Despy was ahead of Jade, so I guess they swapped momentarily. And they're now going side by side. No team orders as Despy yields in order to not make any contact with his teammate. But now it's DRS wide open for Despy. So he's going to make his way past. Now, the Yuppie with the overspeed, making his way alongside, making his way past Jade and was slightly alongside Despy, but will stay as Roni has also made his way past Jade. So a lot of moves taking place in this pack of drivers, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. We'll now go to the front runners. Colin Edwards is right behind his teammate, Bjasler K, and SSR William are in 3rd and 4th. The battle is on. The battle is on. Let us see. DRS wide open for Colin, so he's going to be able to stay slotted behind Trent, his teammate. But this is going to be interesting. And Colin Edwards also being on hard. So I'm assuming, as there is a battle going on between Jade and JC, Jade is able to stay, I do believe it is stay in 11th place. Yes, as JC was behind him. Now riding on board with Roni, he is behind his teammate, the Yuppie. So this tire strategy is quite interesting. Colin Edwards is going to be able to go slightly longer than Trent, although I do know that Trent is pretty good at tire preservation. There you see the switch between Colin Edwards and Trent H, but both Alfa Romeo drivers right behind. As we have Twisted Jack making his way past Caz to go up into 14th place. So we are currently on lap 21 of 52. Getting somewhat close to the halfway mark, about 5.5 laps remaining until we are there. I'm now riding on board with Korea. DRS wide open for the McLaren driver. I don't think he's going to be able to make a move, but looks like Roni is coming alongside his teammate and is going slightly later on the brakes. Both drivers leaving a very good amount of room between each other, also being teammates. So that is good to see. Roni getting himself a good run, but here we go. Meowsler K is right behind Trent. As we have yellow flags, that is Hartley, who has had himself a mistake. Ooh, as Trent looked like he went slightly wide. DRS wide open, there you see Meowsler K's teammate of William right behind him. We'll go on board with Roni. He is right behind his teammate. Will he go for the move alongside his teammate, making slight contact? And that is going to promote Jade up into 10th place. And looks like JC is going to stay slotted behind Roni for the time being. So you do have to remember this is a long race. So one mistake, as yeah, Roni is now going to be out of DRS range as Hartley gets himself a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. Roni's going to be outside of DRS range from Jade. So it may take a bit of battery burning as Hartley is into the pits and he has retired from this session. So Roni is able to stay within 1 second of Jade, who is ahead of him. Going to be quite close coming up to the DRS detection line. As it says that Race Chase has left the session. Tony Lenta, so I will try and get Race Chase back in one. Sorry, I thought I had that muted. So, oh my goodness, as Korea is way wide So he has had himself a moment. Sorry for that clearing of the throat. I thought I was going from unmuted to muted. What is going on? There are yellow flags and a whole bunch of carnage. As what is someone has gone way wide? Who is that? Roni. So something has happened with the Mercedes driver. He has made a mistake. It is all starting to kick off here on lap 23, as that is a yuppie making his way past Sir Jake and Race Chase. Hopefully Race Chase does get himself back into the session quickly. So we'll ride on board with Meowslar K. Sir Jake has also left the session as well, so let me see if I can try and get him back as well. Unfortunately, I do not have Sir Jake. Yeah, so unfortunately I do not have Sir Jake, and I'm not able to add him, as probably because he is a PC user. I can't do the invite through the race director. So that is unfortunate for Sir Jake. Okay, so Race Chase has rejoined, but all the way down in 13th. That is unfortunate. All right, so let me get back to the race. Colin Edwards, yes, Colin Edwards does have. Sorry, that's when he ran wide. Sorry, I thought he got like a new penalty that I did not see, which that would have had huge implications on the constructor standings. That had me shooketh for a second. So it's both Williams drivers still up in first and second place, with both Alfa Romeo drivers following in behind. Let's see. As it does look like Race Chase, I do believe, has taken control of his car. So maybe looking to make a move on Sir Jake, as I don't believe Sir Jake is in the lobby as it is right now. So that is Race Chase and Twisted Jack making their way past Sir Jake to go up into 12th and 13th respectively. So it looks like Tony has made his way past Roni to go up into 10th place. Now riding on board with Korea, currently in 8th place, and he's right behind JC. So we'll see if he's going to be able to make a move on this next DRS straight. Made slight contact with that sausage curb on the left side. That unsettled the car, so no move will be able to be made on this straight. So now going up to Meowsler K. He is just under 4/10 behind Colin Edwards. I mean, this is quite interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what takes place as Rooney gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. Let us actually see the penalties. So all threes except for Tony has 6 and Twisted has 5. So SSR William is falling slightly off the back of his teammate. So let's see what kind of team game Meowsler K is going to try and play. He needs to try and slow down. It's good to see Sir Jake is back into the lobby. He needs to try and slow down to try and keep his teammate within touching distance. No DRS for William. Oh, there is a lap car ahead. This is going to potentially, no, did not slow down the Williams drivers as Jade gets himself. Looks like JC has left the session. So I'll try and get him back. Hopefully JC gets himself in soon, but Tony Lenta is making his way past to go up into 9th, and Roni may be following suit. Going into the gravel slightly, however, able to make his way past. Let us see, SSR William is nearly 2 seconds down. So this is what's gonna have to happen as JC is into the pits. I have not done enough practice on this circuit, especially as far as 100%, it being a 100% race is concerned. I only started doing my preparation for the Platinum race a few hours ago, so it's gonna be interesting. William may have to do an undercut, which if there is another safety car, that is going to be absolutely detrimental. But the only way that William is going to be able to get back into this fight is to be able to do an undercut. That is the only way. Now riding on board with the Yuppie. DRS wide open for the Mercedes driver. He's making his way past Jade to go up into 5th place. So knowing that the Yuppie actually does not have a setup on, because he was kicked from the lobby before the qualifying session started and wasn't able to put on a setup, he is actually doing quite well in 5th place as it stands. Oh boy, Meowsler K. Let us see, will Trent be getting himself DRS? Yes, he will. Yeah, SSR Williams, this is not going well for him at the moment. So let us see, Meowsler K, actually, let's go. Despy, whoa, was right behind Korea going into that turn. Will yield for the time being. Jade also right behind the Yuppie. Will stay in 6th place. But Meowslurk is on a mission right behind Trent. But Colin Edwards is doing a good job of keeping his teammate within DRS range. So let us see Tony Lenta as Despy. There you saw him make his way past Korea to go up into 7th as Korea is heading into the pits. Get rid of his soft tires. So that would more than likely mean Roni. Yep, so Roni in as well. Let's see what Cash has a bit of a way until he gets to the pits. So we'll see what he does. Tony Lenta is right on the back of Despy. So Twisted Jack is promoted into 10th place with Korea and Roni pitting. Doesn't look like, nope, Cash is not going to pit. So we're currently on lap 30 of 52. 22 and a half laps remaining in this race. Now riding on board with Tony Lenta. Looks like JC is back into the lobby. That is good to see. Ooh, has a bit of a moment for Despy. That is definitely going to allow Tony Lenta to take this 7th place. But Despy does look like he has quite a lot of straight line speed, but he's going to have to give up that position. So that's Tony Lenta into 7th place. Riding on board with Meowslurk. So Meowslurk is really trying to take this fight to both of these Williams drivers. It's currently 1v2. Going to be interesting to see what Meowslurk is able to do. I was just seeing Race Chasers right behind Despy, but stays slotted in 9th for the time being. We'll go back up to Meowslurk and looks like he's just able to take these turns just slightly better as Race Chase is alongside Despy, and Despy does yield, so Race Chase up into 8th place. Meowslurk just looks very comfortable going through all of these turns. And here's the thing, Trent is also on mediums, the same as Meow. I don't know if it may just make sense for Colin Edwards to drive off into the distance, if he is able to secure the 1st place, because due to the gap in points as far as 1st to 2nd, it may make sense, but I don't know. You never know. Or it may just be better for Colin Edwards and Trent to just continue to work together. We will see. 20 and a half laps remaining in this race. Now riding on board with Jade, making his way past the Yuppie to go up into 5th place. And Korea and Cash are side by side. So Korea goes up into 12th. And Roni, who just set the fastest lap of the race and then also got himself a 3-second time penalty, is now making his way alongside Cash. Cash is on very old soft tires, so that's going to be an easy move for Roni. Meowslurk, oh boy, so Trent is actually low on the battery and he's into the pit. So this is actually a smart strategy by the Williams team. Colin Edwards now has to pull the pin and get out from within 1 second of Meowsler K. Is he going to be able to do it? No, he's not. So Meowsler K is going to have the advantage of DRS to aid him in being able to stay with Colin Edwards. As Twisted Jack gets himself a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. Trent is going on to softs. That's an interesting call. Looks like there's a bit of a misshift there by Meowsler K. Now the question is, when is William going to pit? So JC sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:29.670. Roni and Korea are currently battling it out. Korea is currently in 10th place. Roni in 11th has DRS to assist him, making his way past Korea to go up into 10th place. Cash has gotten rid of his soft tires, now going on to a set of mediums. So the Yuppie making his way past Jade to go up into 4th, and Race Chase making his way up into 6th, going past Tony Lenta as the Yuppie's actually into the pits. So yeah, once again, I don't know what the tire life is like. William, let's see, another 18 laps on these mediums. I don't know if it can be done. I mean, if it is 4 laps, or sorry, 4, oh boy, hold on, hold on a second. If it is around 4% per lap, William could potentially go to the end. It's just, and there is a big gap. Oh my goodness. Okay, this might get interesting. This actually might get very interesting. And you know what would be interesting? If Meowsler K were to potentially slow down and try and help his teammate stay ahead. Oh boy, this is gonna get interesting. No, that actually maybe not doesn't make sense because Jade was actually dummying for the pits. So 17 laps. The interval that Trent has to William is, as Trent sets the fastest lap of the race, so 1:28.97 lap. Oh, sorry, 9:79. The gap to William would be approximately 18-ish seconds? 19-ish seconds. So that's about a second a lap that Trent has to try and do to make his way up to William. I don't know if William is going to stay out. This is actually nuts. This is actually nuts. We have, what is it? 17 and a half laps left in this race. Let us see. Trent is right on the back of the 4th, 5th, and 6th place drivers as it is right now. So, we will see. Ooh, as Tony Lenta has a movement! That is going to promote Trent up into 6th place. So easy pass. William is into the pits. And being slightly held up by Jade. What is going to happen here? So, who is that into the pits as well? That was Race Chase. Trent has made his way past Jade to go up into 4th place. But let us see. So where is William going to filter out? And I mean, as it is right now, Trent is going to do around 19 laps on his softs as well. That is going to be a decent ask as well. So, I don't know. Let us see. So, DRS wide open for Jade. Yep, Sir Jake is into the pits as well. And Miasler K is still ahead. Or, sorry, still right behind Colin Edwards. I don't know. I don't know what is going to happen. So Miasler K is into the pits as well. So it's going to have to be an attempted fight back for the Alfa Romeo drivers. And here's the thing, if Miasler K actually goes onto a set of soft tires, there may be an undercut on Colin Edwards as well. Soft tires for Miasler K. So let us see. I don't know if Colin Edwards is going to have to pit again. I do believe that Colin Edwards is a tire whisperer. From what I remember, I don't remember which race it was, but I do believe he has the ability to preserve his tires for a long length. So we will see. So Miasler K comes out in 5th position. He's about a second and a half off of the back of Tony Lenta. So now riding on board with Miasler K, he is doing quite a good job on this outlap on these tires, making his way past both Jade and Tony Lenta. So he is around 5 seconds behind Trent on 4 lap pressure tires. I still am asking the question as to if Colin Edwards is going to pit. So Race Chase makes his way past the Yuffie to go up into 10th place. Williams sets the fastest lap of the race of 128.444. That actually might play potentially into this constructors battle. Maybe. Depending on what it is that Colin Edwards does. I'm just thinking to myself, imagine if it's a case of the 2020 F1 season where Lewis Hamilton had to limp around, what was it? I guess it was like the latter part of Sector 2 and then Sector 3 on tires that, or a tire that exploded. We'll see if Colin Edwards is able to go to the end of the race. It'll be impressive if he does. Now riding on board with Tony Lenta. DRS wide open for the AlphaTauri driver. He's going to make his way past Jade to go up into 4th place. Now riding on board with Race Chase. As Miasler K sets the fastest lap with a 127.870. So Race Chase makes his way past Despy to go up into 9th place. So as long as the fastest lap goes to one of the Alphas, that's going to help them in this constructors battle. Oh, and SSR William is actually right behind Jade and Tony Lenta. So William making his way past, as Jade looks like he is. Looks like he was slightly trying to fight it, but may not have the tires to do so. So William is currently behind Tony Lenta. If he gets a good exit, which it looks like he does, he's going to make his way alongside and past Tony Lenta to go up into 4th place. So it does look like SSR William is low on the battery, but I don't believe Tony Lenta. Oh my goodness, he has way more battery than William. That is going to demote William back down to 5th place, but William is going to try and fight this. He has to be careful because positions as a bit of a touch between William and Tony Lenta, and that promotes Jade up into 5th place. And as it is right now, Meowsler K is on the absolute hunt of Trent H with 4 lap pressure tires. This is incredible. So we have 12.5 laps remaining in this race. So riding on board with Tony Lenta, he is coming up to the back of Jade. Both Jade and Tony Lenta on very old tires, mediums and hards respectively. I'm assuming both of them, as Tony Lenta, who we're currently riding on board with right now, gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings, but he's going to make his way past Jade to go up into 5th place. I do assume that both of these drivers are going to have to pit at some point. So Cash makes his way past JC. But looks like it might have been a potential legal overtake, as Cash is giving the position back. So look at this, Meowsler K has caught up to Trent. I'm still interested to see what Colin Edwards is going to do. DRS wide open for race chase. Somewhat low on the battery, but gonna use it to get himself ahead of Korea to go up into 8th place. Sorry, I had myself muted there, unfortunately. So, Meowsler K, I'm not sure if I did say this. Meowsler K made his way past Trent to go up into 2nd place. Colin Edwards, as it is right now, 28 lap old hards, 10.5 laps remaining in this race. So 38 laps run, no, it's going to be 39 laps run on these hards if he decides not to pit again. Trent gets himself a 3-second time penalty! So, okay, SSR William does have to try and catch up to get himself within striking distance. But 39 laps, if it's 2% per lap for these tires, you're looking at 78%. It's not too bad, as you see there. As Cash gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. 1.2 seconds off of his fastest time, which, let us see, can I see fastest times? We have lap data, telemetry, camera type, yeah, that's fine. Fastest lap, so, oh boy. Yeah, so Colin Edwards is struggling at the moment. That lap was a 131, basically a 131.1. Whereas I'm sure the likes of Miasler K is probably doing something around 128, maybe high one or low 129. So I don't know. And then as Jade makes his way past Tony Lenta to go up into 5th place, I don't know. Yeah, so Miasler K is moving at the moment. DRS4 Trent, but very low on the battery, so is Miasler K. So Trent does have the potential of staying within DRS, but I do believe Miasler's pace is just very fast and very strong around this circuit. Now riding on board with Tony Lenta, he is making his way past Jade to go up into 5th place. Yeah, so as it is right now, Miasler K is catching very quickly. As there you see, Meow is making his way past Tarzan to go, well, as Tarzan is actually blue flagged. And we'll see as Trent is getting slightly held up by Tarzan, but does get out of the way eventually. This is going to be quite interesting. Will Meow catch Colin? As it is right now, Jade and Tony Lenta are battling it out for this fifth place position, and oh wow! So Tony Lenta has 12 seconds with the penalties. Jade has 9. So as is right now, Jade can kind of just coast behind Tony Lenta, and he'll be able to finish in 5th place. So I'm now riding on board with Despy, DRS wide open for the Aston Martin driver. Race Chase makes his way past Roney to go up into 7th place. Will Despy make his way past Korea? No, yields. Does not want to risk any potential contact. I don't know, Colin Edwards. He has a lot of battery left as well. So that is a pretty good shout for Colin Edwards, but you are looking at potentially nearly 80% tire wear as the battle between Despy and Korea, both going side by side at the moment. So the good thing for Trent as it is right now is that it doesn't look like William is catching. So unless some type of unforeseen event, as Korea has a bit of a moment there. Unless some type of unforeseen event takes place or there's just some type of major tire wear that takes place for Trent, It does look like he will be able to solidify that third place position. So DRS wide open for Korea. So we'll stay slotted behind Despy. At the moment, Meowslayer K is catching. There, I do not see. Yeah, no, there is no puncture on the tires. But Meowslayer K is just simply catching. I don't know if this is a case that... I don't know. I don't even know the points differential between all of these positions. I know I believe it's 25 for first and then 21 for second place. I do believe. Add to the fact, I think it's Meowslayer K that also has the fastest lap. Boy, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if Colin Edwards potentially made the incorrect or incorrect decision. And then can you imagine if Tony Lenta runs very wide there, so that is going to promote Jade up into 5th place. Imagine if there was a safety car as well. That would be absolutely insane. Jade faking as if he's going into the pits. He has very... I don't know, these drivers, man. Taking a lot of risk. Jade, Tony, and Colin Edwards. I mean, it is only, what, five and a half laps remaining for Colin Edwards. But Meowslayer K is catching. Meowslayer K is catching. Can we see him? Not as yet. He is slightly too far behind. I'm sure Meowslayer K's tires are maybe within 20 to 25% of Colin Edwards at the moment. It'll just be interesting. Let me actually see. As maybe Roni won't be making a move right now. We'll be potentially making one soon. But let us see the lap time between Colin Edwards. So let us see. Wow, a 135.86. But Meowslayer K is right there. Oh my goodness. So what? 5/10. 6/10 slower. I don't know if Meowslayer K has the pace. I do not know if Meowslayer K has the pace, but I don't call in other words. There you see Jade doing another dummy into the pits. Hopefully his tires do not. Who is that? Wow. Almost contact between a blue flag driver, as that is race chase into the back of, I am not sure who that was. Yeah, I'm not sure who that was. I'm not sure if that was a blue flag driver or not. I think it was, yeah. I think it was Tarzan. So that is quite unfortunate. Yep, so I don't believe Meowslayer K does not have the pace to be able to catch Colin Edwards. So now riding on board with Tony Lenta, will stay slotted behind Jade. There you go, Jade. I'm telling you. I'm getting the vibes of Jade is faking until it becomes real. Where his tires are going to potentially repay him for these fakes into the pit lane. As Race Chase gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding into the pits. Will more than likely be a new front wing for himself, or no, he has retired from this race. Oh, and Roni is actually right behind Jade and Tony Lenta, as it is. So let's see if any moves. Oh, as that is Destiny going very wide. But well, maybe a potential illegal overtake. As we have, no, that's yellow flags in where Race Chase is retiring. So DRS for Jade and Roni, but they're not going to be able to make their way up to Tony Lenta. So as it is right now, all of the drivers who will be finishing this race will be scoring points as well. So let us see. Jade, 36 lap old mediums. I don't know how, but he is somehow doing this. And Roni, wow, is actually on much fresher tires than both of these drivers. So if I had to guess, I would assume that Roni is going to be able to take this place, or take fifth. DRS wide open for Jade. Will he be able to make the move? Yes, he makes the lunge. Side by side between Tony Lenta and Jade. Roni is currently watching this all go down, but has to be careful going on to the power to not go into the back of Jade. So Sir Jake is currently into the pits. Maybe try and set the fastest lap of the race. So let us see. DRS wide open for Jade. Looking to get slipstream off of Tony Lenta. Makes his way past to go up into 5th place. Ooh, that is a snap by Tony Lenta. Let's see, Roni is able to go very late on the brakes. Having a slight moment, not able to take the place. So we are on the penultimate lap of this race. Oh, as Tony Lenta gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. So let's see the penalties. Oh, Tony Lenta is dropping down. So Roni has this 5th place position solidified. So he has to make sure that he doesn't do anything dangerous to lose being able to finish in 5th. So let us see. Colin Edwards coming through the final turn. Nearly setting a PB. Yeah, so Colin Edwards, a master tire management artist. So here we are on board with Tony Lenta, as that is Jade going very wide. This is now Roni taking advantage, going up into 5th place. So very patient work by Roni. Let us see as Colin Edwards has to preserve these tires to the end of this race. And it does look like he's going to be able to get the job done. quite impressive by Colin Edwards. As it's only a few more turns remaining. He is going to finish this final race of the season winning, and this is more than likely, as we have yellow flags, this is going to more than likely solidify the Williams team of Colin Edwards and Trent winning the Constructors' Championship ahead of Meowsler K and SSR Williams. So Meowsler K second, Trent in third, William in fourth. Roney will come home in fifth place. On the circuit, should be fifth outright. On the circuit, it will be Tony Lenta coming home in sixth. But let us see with the penalties if any switch will be taking place. Yes, Jade finishes sixth. Tony Lenta sixth. Dasby jumps to fifth! What a race by Despy! That's something that I have found with Despy while watching a lot of these gold races. He has the ability to sneak out good points paying positions just with patience. I'm pretty sure I have seen tire management. That is incredible. But there you have it. It is Colin Edwards finishing in first place. Will not even need to remove that 3-second time penalty that he received. There you see Roney gets the driver of the day as determined by the game. So Colin Edwards will not even need to remove that 3-second time penalty for being forced off of the track, finishing in outright first place. So here is the final positions, I guess tentative, depending on if there are any incident reports that take place. So Colin Edwards finishing in first place, Meowsler K in second, Trent H in third, SSR William in fourth, Despy fifth, Roney in sixth, Korea seventh, Jade eighth, Tony Lenta ninth, the Yuppie in 10th, Twisted Jack in 11th, Sir Jake 12th, Cash 13th, JC 14th, Tarzan 15th. So Tarzan, yes, was classified. So, yep, points for Tarzan. And then Race Chase 16th, Heartleap 17th, Big Bruiser 18th, and PPR Mike 19th. So quite an interesting finale. I am very impressed by both Colin Edwards and Despy. Seeing Despy as, who was it that got driver of the day? It was Roney. He started in sixth and finished in sixth. How did he get driver of the day? Nah, driver of the day is Despy. Stop this. Despy, you're the driver of the day. You are the driver of the day, sir. That is impressive. Staying out of trouble, making sure that you didn't get any penalties. To me, sir, you are the driver of the day. So that is going to do it for the finale of this season 7, round 8 that took place here around Silverstone. I'd like to thank you for tuning into this broadcast, both live and or on the playback. So yep, that's going to do it for this season. It was a very interesting season, a very fun season to commentate on and see what it was that took place in all 8 of these races. So once again, I'd like to thank you for tuning in and either tuning in live or watching on the playback. And yeah, that's it for this season. Once again, thank you. And for myself, Kema, I would like to say, take care.